Breaking the Stigma. Tonight, one local nonprofit held a new event to break down stereotypes of people who suffer from mental illness.
And tonight, Simple Life Inc. partnered with Design West to hold their Break the Stigma event. There, people could take part in a human library experience where they talk to people one-on-one about their personal stories. Those people shared experiences with homelessness, autism, suicidal ideation, and schizophrenia. Simple Life is a nonprofit created 10 years ago to work with people who are chronically mentally ill. Their goal is to get them into the community and provide them with more opportunities. Organizers thought this event would be a perfect way for the community to connect with those individuals with a different story.
Really just open up our eyes to maybe what somebody else has gone through or what they've experienced, and we may find ourselves sharing something we experienced that the other individual had no idea about us. I think it allows someone to tell their story in a safe place.
They also had live music, food, and vendors for people to enjoy. People also had the opportunity to buy a few t-shirts tie-dyed by the organization's rehabilitation members. All the money raised will go directly back to Simple Life's mission.
So one of my things that I'm super proud of is we do what's called a daycation. So one day a year we load a chartered bus at like 5 or 6 in the morning and we drive about 5 or 6 hours away and we see something that these guys maybe have never seen, or if they've seen it, it was really a long time ago.
Organizers hope to hold this event again in the future. For more information about Simple Life Inc., visit the story on our website at ktiv.com.